It's the Jim Fannon Show. We've come to take your mind.
Am I still on? Dixon is just getting in. We got Best Damn Roofer, Rob Primo, Sandor, Ligetfalvy, myself, and Pat Dixon. Welcome aboard. Welcome aboard, boys. If you go to Jim Fannon Live, you can retweet the live stream. Wow, the producer forgot to fucking... I need a Ryan. Fuck. Unmute your mics, boys. This is Pat Dixon on Twatter. This is the Best Damn Roofer on Twatter. It's a dangerous account. I say tread lightly. Primo on Twatter and Sandor, my brother, on the Twatter. The show description has the links and the descriptions of the boys. Pat Dixon is a comedian from New York City and host of the New York City Crime Report. Best Damn Roofer is... Josh Bigger, with an E, not an A. My father lives on Bigger Road. I used the A last time. All the time. I always use the A. And somebody finally told me, dude, it's the wrong spelling. Here's Best Damn Roofer there. There's Primo. He's in the house. He needs no introduction. Either does Sandor. Welcome aboard, boys. Thanks for
literally in a house.
I just wanted to get off of the one-on-one interviews. They're good. I've had all of you guys on. Those links are in the description for the previous videos that we've done. And I just wanted to, we're going to start making fun of Joe sniffing another kid today. And where did his hair go? I'll try and share my screen with you guys, but then somehow it's not being shared. Oh, Joe Biden.
Are we punching up or punching down?
Joe Biden was sniffing a kid today. Pat Dixon, how the fuck are you, brother? Introduce yourself to the crew.
How you doing, Jim?
I'm good,
Thanks
man.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, I'm glad to have you on, and thanks for coming out. Maybe just give a quick intro. And what's up? What's going on? Where's the New York City Crime Report these days? Where's it landing?
It is. Oh, it's...
well, how many shows do you have? You got more than that one.
I got that. I got another one called Dog Fuckers, you know. I've got one called RWI, which stands for Reasonably Well Informed. I've got one called Late AF that we'll have a new one out either tomorrow or tonight. It's a bunch of concepts. I just thought I'd try a bunch of concepts. These are not like permanent, long-lasting. You know, the only real show that has been going since 2011 is New York City Crime Report. You can get it on Apple Podcasts or wherever.
Cool. Thanks for coming aboard. Josh Bigger, what have you been up to other than pissing off liberals? Your last video where you said you were charging liberals what's the liberal tax? And how much new business does that bring you? Big time. You're on mute. I got no audio.
No. You hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear meow. Thank you.
Okay. Buddy. There you go. That's better. Yeah, I've just been making liberals cry and drinking their tears, and the work has been coming in full force. Everyone seems to be happy. People are honking at me everywhere I go with all the construction workers and just cheering out big time, celebrating our victory over the liberal left mob on social media.
Nice. Primo, What are you up to? Are you going to write a book for us and tell us all about the front lines of I call them the freedom celebrations that we went through here being locked down by Trudeau. You were on the front lines of a lot of that stuff. Are you going to write a book?
If he writes a book, can I spell check it?
I was actually just going to say, if I write a book, I'm going to get Sandor to go over it all, and he can do the spelling and grammar. We need that.
There, and your.
Yeah. Or I could write a book, and then everything I fuck up, you can just do like a whole other book of just straight memes roasting me.
Okay, that's more my style, actually.
Yeah.
Sandor, you got a presentation coming up at Regional Council about they changed the word DEI, the acronym, which is diversity, inclusiveness, and equity, correct? This, when it first came out, Jordan Peterson was referring to it as DIE, the words that they used to use. And they actually changed the order early in the branding to call it DEI. But it's still DIE to me. Yeah.
No, it was EDI. And Jordan Peterson, being a cheeky little devil,
He was calling it DIE.
called it DIE. But
Yeah.
it's always been DEI. He's trying to say
okay.
that it is a death cult. And I don't think I'm going to say that in council.
No, nice.
Members of council.
There goes Sandor.
Oh, he just got executed. I think assassinated. You guys want to talk about shit like that? Not on my watch. That's too much. You're giving out information. You're gonna get us killed here, guys. Come on.
Yeah. Let me get this up now. Shit. I'm going to share the wrong screen? Okay. Yeah, let's get rid of this. Dixon, dude, my heart is with the American people. I got friends and family all over the states. Used to be, the beacon of freedom.
Yeah.
We're feeling our own serious burn up here with the communism coming out of our, what do we call him? I call him Little Dictator. Well, because they call him Little Potato in China when he goes over there, right?
Little Castro.
Yeah.
Little dictator. So, do you get the hope of the midterms coming up, where we seem to have a huge Republican showing up for the early vote or the primaries and all that kind of stuff? Tell me a little bit about your frustration of your leadership down there and everything. Trump called it all. He told us we were going to have $6 a gallon. Anyways, this is. As soon as I close this off, I'm going to let
Trump's
you tell
right about everything, as far as I'm concerned. When has he ever said anything wrong? I mean, from that the election was going to be a mess, all the way down to what's her name, the Daniels woman being a horse face. That's not wrong. I like Trump a lot, and like generally speaking, what he says comes to pass. If it hasn't already, I am concerned about 2018. All you can do is, just keep running people that are good and seeing what they'll do. The Democrats are so unpopular right now, they're trying to infiltrate and run as Republicans.
And they're just coming out and saying it. It's like the New York Times coming out with that article that just said, yeah, we did it. We changed the election laws. And my contention is, if Steve Bannon and Roger Stone were on the job, they would have been heading this off at the pass as far as the states slipping through a quick adjustment, which was unconstitutional, to make it so that they can mail in ballot and just, call the election after all the mail-ins for Joe came in, after they stuffed the boxes full with 2,000 meals. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Creepy fucking Joe, eh?
Yeah,
He's
I'm playing
that's
it. I'm sharing it with you now.
That's Perks Plus.
This is just recently. Like, don't you go out if there's any question that you're inappropriate with children, don't you go way far out of your way to make sure there's nothing that anyone can take, the wrong way, like his hair is flying up in the pool and the kids, come on. I feel sorry for the guy. I feel sorry for the guy. Did you see Jill Biden scolding him the other day? He just put his head down like a defeated dog. Oh, it was sad, man. I feel sorry for the guy because his faculties aren't there. But here he goes sniffing another, getting down close to her.
Just take, you're very much in the public eye. Take 4 years off of being such an apparent pedophile,
And every child's reaction is the same way. Like the kid wants to get the fuck out of that situation. Let alone the guy has a scrotum for a neck. You guys see that? That just kind of grew out of his neck the last few days. That wasn't there 3 days
I'm
ago.
shocked that his people around him, allow this to happen. This is a bad angle on a bad hair day with a glowing. He's just alopecia, male pattern baldness. Man, that is a bad angle. It's a bad look. Anyways, this would Benny Johnson put this out 20 hours ago. I'm just like, the hits just
They're
keep
just
on
hoping
coming.
that he rolls that bike right down the hill when he goes to take off after.
Bigger, tell me about this broad that you've been chirping on. I can't even pronounce the name. What's the story on this chick?
Carrie was her name.
Okay.
She's an alleged lawyer, or had some type of lawyer firm, and then she was doing basically journalism on the convoy, being very critical, patronizing. In my opinion, people that lost their jobs, people that were suffering. That's why we all met at the convoy in Ottawa. So I just kind of found some pictures of her online office. It looks like a reporter's house, and just thought I'd share that information. She likes to make fun of everybody else, so I just wanted to turn the lights on old Carrie and see how it feels for a while.
Jim, do you want me to go into a little bit more context? Hit it. About that yesterday?
Yeah.
So what happened is friends of ours, Roy and Nicole, who own Peter Burgers in Peterborough, they're that burger joint that they stood up against everything that was going down when public health told them to shut down their building. They stayed in there and they kept running and they kept going until they literally took the doors off the place. Oh. So Karima took it upon herself to go there and document it all and take a lot of negative press, a lot of negative videos, caused a lot of grief in Roy and Nicole's life. And they're actually really good people who essentially couldn't afford to close their business. So they just kept working through it. And so finally yesterday, Roy and Nicole were in Toronto by Karima's office. And their joke was like, oh, we're at Karima's work for the first time. She's been coming to our work for 2 years now, videotaping it, putting it all over the internet. So they walked into the building and they videotaped her office and they kind of made a joke of it because, she's always talking about the virus and germs and this and that. And her office looks like a pig pen, man. There's 1.5 inches of dust in there. People are carving their names. It's disgusting. No wonder this lady walks around with a hazmat suit on.
Nah.
Thanks for that. That's good backstory. I knew that story, but I didn't embellish. That was good. Thanks, Rob.
Positive.
She's got her mother doing
all your
that.
negativity is killing the
Sandor's
world.
giving me the over there, but it's a common known thing that me and Karima fuck with each other a lot. We actually get along a little bit. It's kind of weird.
Gross.
Kind of a Sam and Diane kind of thing.
Yeah.
Well, let's hope you do.
Here's our Prime Minister in blackface. This one, I don't know. I haven't had anything. I'm on my third account, right? This is the backup to the backup to the backup. And then I've got another backup that's going live with the stream right now on Twitter. But this one actually, you got to hit it at the right time. I don't know what it makes them go viral, but this kid just can't stop. And the next tweet we're going to talk about, what am I just trying to do here? Share with you guys? Yeah, here we go. How does this stuff fly under the radar? It didn't fly. I mean, somebody found it. I wish I could find who sourced this thing out and why hasn't this kid paid for it with his job? Everyone else gets canceled. Why not Trudeau? Look, he's got the sock in his pants. He's got his legs black-faced. Wow. He's black-kneed.
Wow.
How long does Justin apologize for? Until he's black in the face. Yeah, I know.
Are you sure you sure he stuffed his pants though?
Dude,
we have evidence.
Look at the thing.
Who knows?
Maybe that answers the question. Maybe that's why he's still in power. Maybe he's just really well hung.
That'll keep your job.
That's why you need to take that big to fucking entire country. So, right?
That's right.
And then his girlfriend, what's her name? Mel Jolly comes out. Can you believe she's got the narcissism to come out with a how we should stand for human rights and how protesting's legal and how
they give people the false sense of illusion that they actually do care about human rights when clearly we all know they don't. Yeah, we're just going to stomp all over them all day long and then we'll clean up the fucking mess with a mop and pretend like we didn't do it.
Here's Mel Jolly here.
No, they believe in human rights. They just don't consider conservatives to be human.
That was
nice.
Accurate. That was an accurate statement right there.
Share the screen.
Painfully accurate.
Here's today's retweet from me, Melanie Jolly at Melanie Jolly 1L. The July 9th protests in Sri Lanka were a clear expression of the desire for a better Sri Lanka. Canada supports a peaceful constitutional path forward that supports urgent action on economic and political reform. I'm surprised they didn't get renewable or green economy in there somehow. And tweet 2, violence against peaceful protesters. I can't even read this with a straight face. Are you kidding? And journalism and journalists is unacceptable, and those responsible must be held accountable. The right to protest and peacefully. The right to protest peacefully must be upheld. This is a government that trampled an old lady, shot a reporter with a beanbag gun, and went out of their way to forcefully remove a legal protest on Capitol Hill during those truckers would have stayed until summer if they had. I mean,
the best was the tweets that came after that. Did you see all the Canadians putting pictures up and replying to that? It was unbelievable. It was all like negative context, against what you said, like, the picture of the horse trampling and the picture, the video of Buddy getting butt-headed in the head with the gun.
And meanwhile, Black Lives Matter riots for 2 years. Dozens of deaths, billions of dollars in damage, and all they want to talk about is they want to talk about January 6th, an armed insurrection. I mean, the level of corruption in the media. I don't know why I'm still shocked by it. Like this guy, this is the only guy.
I don't even know if you could call it corruption. I mean, I think it's just a straight up evil enterprise, right? It's not.
Yeah.
It's not a good thing gone bad. It's just a straight up shitty thing.
They're doing exactly what they're paid to do. It's not corrupt at all. It's just they have an evil sponsor.
Well, it's linguistically and morally corrupt.
Yeah.
Right?
And there's another 3.
Corrupt.
Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say, now there's 3 more big things coming up tomorrow, all in the same day again, right? You got Pat King's bail review. Went all day today. Now that's going into tomorrow. You got Tamara Litch's bail review again tomorrow. And then you have Officer Aaron Howard, the police officer, who was the first lady to take a stand and say, I respect my oath and I stand for Canadians' fundamental rights and freedoms. Now, this is going to be the 3rd time that she's going up against the PSA, the Police Services Act. Every single time they keep remanding it. I don't know this, but there's been such a big showing of support outside of the police station every time when she's gone in to hear this. It's like it gets remanded. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. That's 3 really big things in one day.
And we get some way more serious political.
Listen to this guy, Rob. You've just become a completely articulate orator of everything factual, true, and important.
He's on it. I can't afford to pay attention at that level. This guy's
come into his own.
Yeah.
I congratulate Rob Primo. After the last 18 months, what you just conveyed to us was so articulate and passionate.
Fuck.
I love you, Rob.
Are you done?
I love you too, brother.
Fuck.
Love you too, Rob.
Jerk off.
I love you too, Josh. And my American friend, I love you too because you're funny and you're conservative.
Yeah, well, thanks. I mean, those 2 things. You won't see too many funny people who aren't conservative. I mean, I think they're too at least conservative at heart. I mean, you can't live in that cage that they're in and say anything funny. The biggest laugh that you get from them is like a ha. Yeah. That's the way they laugh, is when some bad shit happens to somebody and they're like, ha, take that.
Schadenfreude.
Like Nelson from The Simpsons.
Pain.
Yeah, right. So, Fannon, I got to ask you guys a question, even though this is your show, just because it's been driving me insane. Do you guys think it's fair that the Crown Prosecutor, Karim J, is a Liberal donator? So he donated $17,000 to the Liberal Party, and he's been appointed to be the Crown Prosecutor in this case. Not only in Tamara Litch's case, but Pat King as well. Jesus. So they both have the same prosecution.
You can't write this stuff up. If you were to make the most absurd political fiction, you wouldn't want, it's too on the nose. You wouldn't want to make the story about this because it's fucking unbelievable. And not only did he donate $17,000, but he went to these ritzy dinners that charged, I don't know how many $1,000 a plate. Like, he's not just a normal
donor. There's
donor.
Literally pictures of him sitting down eating like fancy dinners with Trudeau.
Yeah, corrupt at a level that's unbelievable. But my heart's with the boys, and Joe Biggs and the boys. Like those are true political prisoners that haven't seen daylight hardly in what Oh, it's well over a year now. And I mean, don't even get me started on the Proud Boys that are doing hard time for a 17-second street fight that they got the best of the guys after they were ambushed, being escorted out by cops. The guys end around the cops and came in and had at them, and they got the best of them. They all went to jail. The Antifa guys, who didn't even want to press charges, told the pigs to go fuck themselves, or fuck you pigs, they call it, said to them or whatever, wouldn't press the charges. The state brought the charges. But yeah, so...
anonymity is everything for Antifa. They can't even be a victim right, I mean, it's pathetic. Horrible people. And you're right about everything being stacked. I mean, the guys for the January 6th people, vandalism, trespassing, and shit like that. I mean, it's a revolving door here in New York for shit like, I don't know, stabbing people, pushing people in front of trains. I mean, it's absolutely
Didn't
ridiculous.
They give Biggs something about urination, too, because he used the restroom?
What, he didn't put the seat back down or some shit?
They said he urinated in the Capitol. Yeah, he used the restroom and walked peacefully through the place. I mean, they stayed within the velvet ropes. What kind of insurrection is that? We've all seen the videos of them hanging out in the Senate chambers and they're like, yeah, we're just here. We're going to protect the place, make sure nobody screws it up. We'll be out of here in 10 minutes, Unbelievable.
And then they're like, we stand with the people of Sri Lanka who chased the president down the road just beating the shit out of him. What gives?
What's a guy got to do to get some political accountability in a country, man? Well, apparently about 500,000 of you need to rush to the presidential palace and just take that shit over. Unbelievable. Insurrection. An armed insurrection. Fuck me. Unbelievable.
Well, they had arms. They had flags.
Who had arms? Oh, yeah, exactly. They're armed with flags.
Yeah.
Oh, baby.
Yeah. I mean, after 2020, I didn't think anybody could ever be charged for anything ever again. I mean, I thought law enforcement was basically a thing of the fucking past.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently not. I mean, the Capitol Police, the most pathetic examples of police I have ever seen. Who told you that you're never going to have to confront anybody who's the slightest bit hostile as an officer? And if you see them testify, they're just like, boo-hoo. This is the worst thing ever. Somebody called me a name. Oh, fuck that.
Well, it's a show. It's a show trial.
They predicted a 3/4 point hike in the bank rate today in Canada, and they jacked it a full point, 100 percentage points. Fuck. The market's going to crash, man. There's Sandor.
Yeah. Well, I feel vindicated about my position for the last 2 years. How about you guys?
Well, it's certainly getting tired saying I told you so. How about Ben Stein coming out and launching all over the universe? Where did they dig up Ben Stein? Look at this guy.
What did he do? What happened with Ben?
Crime.
I'll play it for
When
you.
I moved here in 19...
He just lets loose. Here, I'll share it with you. Can you hear it when I play it?
I am talking to you right now on the 3 days after Christmas in the lobby of the Beverly Hills Hotel.
He's the Beverly Hills Hotel. Talking about how rough life is.
And I want to talk about crime. When I moved here in 1976, this was a very safe city, and Beverly Hills was one of the safest places in that city. In fact, I think for a large city, it was probably the safest city in the United States of America. And that's changed dramatically, and here's what's going on. For some reason, which would take a lot of explaining, but it could be explained, the government decides to basically stop punishing black people who commit crimes. And black people can commit crimes and not be prosecuted for it.
Now,
Yes,
I just want to affirm, is Ben Stein, he's white, right? Like, I'm looking at the guy, he looks white to me.
All right.
How is a white man allowed to say this? Like, well,
I think he's Jewish, so he's allowed.
Of course, he's.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, he's
Jewish white.
So.
We're definitely not allowed to even talk about this in general.
Where are we on the thing of like?
We're in big trouble just for you bringing it up, Jim.
Are Jews?
All right, Karima's watching soon. She's taking the
We're
clip
done.
right now.
When we do
We're
this,
done.
Taking Ben Stein saying that
He's our new leader.
Yeah, Ben Stein's our new Diagolon leader. We're Diagolon now.
When we do studies,
it's going to get conflated.
And we categorize Caucasians. Are the Jews in the Caucasian category? They're not separate. We don't account separately for Jews. They got it. They have to be white, right? Like when we do IQ.
No, they're Jewish. They're Jewish. Yeah, you're pissing everybody off now, Jim.
I know when we talk race versus IQ, I know they put them in a separate category because they deserve their own category. They're all really smart.
Well, I mean, according to critical theory, Jewish people are white passing and therefore benefit from white privilege. So it's to answer your question.
Oh, I see.
Okay,
white passing.
So no, they are not part of the same identitarian category. But yes, unless they are working to interrupt the systems of white supremacy, they are complicit to it. So watch out for that.
Man, that's a big responsibility.
Oh my God. Oh yeah, they're taking over our municipality with critical theory, with DEI. Jim was talking about earlier. DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion, and
coming to you soon, Pat.
Deception,
you know
exaggeration,
it always comes from
and
Canada.
inversion.
Yeah,
nice.
And so that's coming to rewrite the very fundamental principles of our municipal institutions, which seems like they should be involved in watersheds and the canal and bus routes, but instead they're engaged explicitly in a culture shift for the very reason of immigration. So they say that the birth rate's too low. We need to have lots of immigration for economic incentive. So there's gonna be, this is all a foregone conclusion politically. So let's put it that way. The foregone conclusion politically is there's going to be tons of immigration. It's for our economic incentive. Therefore, the culture that exists here, which is 92% what would be categorized as white, must be prepared for that. And so they're both culturally and demographically prepared for that transition over the next 20 years in Niagara. So how about that for a topic?
Who invited this buzzkill?
I don't think that diversity creates. When they say diversity is our strength, again, they're not talking about us as one big nation or one big city. Sure. They're talking about them. So when they say it's their strength, they mean that's what keeps us in power. Is pandering to all these groups. So I mean, I guess diversity is their strength, but it isn't. It certainly doesn't do anything for the country necessarily.
Dixon's finding a whole lot of truth in the narrative. They're taking it quite literally. Yeah, diversity is their strength because they beat us over the head and ears with it, and make us fucking kneel down in front of it, and make us give a shit for doing burnouts on shit they paint on the road, for crying out loud. Fuck, you paint a flag.
Orwellian, ignorance is strength, or ignorance is truth, war is peace, diversity is strength. It seems to fit into that categorization of axioms, of slogans.
Yeah, war is peace.
Yeah.
But
I like ignorance is strength.
Jim, I think
we're
it's
gonna
them
have
who
the
does
city coming
burnouts
after
on
you
top of
if
their
you try to
shit.
misgender someone. I'm sorry. What's that?
Well, I was just gonna say, if they put a Habs flag on a crosswalk, people would be doing burnouts out on it too, and nobody would be saying, "Oh my God,
Right, it's not my sports team.
You disrespect."
You see this behind me, right? This is a $30,000 crosswalk that they put it. Okay, I'm sorry. It's not even a fucking crosswalk. It's a 6-lane intersection. It's
How
ridiculous.
much did it cost?
Approximately $30,000, and that has to be maintained and upkeep.
I would have done it for like 10 grand. Easy.
Only if they use the discount phrase, right? Right, Josh?
Well, sorry, it's for liberal. Yeah, you got to put the tax on.
So
there.
you got to put the tax
Sorry,
back
guys.
on it.
It's gonna be
very,
30
liberal.
grand. Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta hire a
Yeah.
commission, a committee to discuss it first. You know.
Yeah, for
Can
sure.
can you imagine the taxpayers funding though? Like when you think of, in specific to our Niagara region, all the different cities that have one of those. Like now in my home city of Welland, we just got a nice $30,000 one over by the bridge too. And there's all these other
They painted 6 in the region this year.
like the amount of money going into these really is insane. Like it really
They have
could be
over
way-
52 in Nova Scotia. And there's one town in Nova Scotia with 52 Pride crosswalks. Over 30 of them are this new. See these chevrons? You guys know what this is about, right? So I'm kind of down with equality. What do you think? Like, I think treating people as equal individuals is pretty cool. It's this equity shit. You guys know the difference?
Yeah.
Equality is treating individuals as equals, and equity is equality of outcome, which is we're going to play God over society until things turn out how we say they should. And that's evil communism.
I think we should just paint the word humans on this truck. There you go. Done. Humans.
Well, that's awfully anthropocentric. What
Let's get
about
everyone
animals?
on humans.
This-
Fair enough.
This activist here goes on quite frequently about. You looking at what I'm pointing at? This activist here goes on quite frequently about Marineland. So there you go. So it's not good enough. Sorry, Josh, not good enough. And that is really the message
Nah.
from these people: is that you're never good enough. And
So
that, I
here's
think,
the thing.
that's what gets people fired up to becoming what we call based. It's like, no, fuck you. I am good enough. Stop condescending to us, you pricks. It's kind of the general reason why there's so much pushback on this shit. What say you, gentlemen?
I say you're fucking.
Yeah, if that's the lady I'm thinking of, I noticed in her Twitter profile, it said something along the lines of running for a counselor and that they're all about inclusion and diversity and this and that and whatever. And then all of a sudden you look right in her Twitter name and she's like, I hate the freedom people, blah, blah, blah. Like, that's a good way to run your campaign. Like,
Right.
you're telling me you're going to get a job at the region to represent the people, but you're not going to like the people that don't agree with the things that you agree with? Well, you're there to represent everybody fairly. So you don't just get to represent your crew. That's not how that
using
works.
stereotypes. Using stereotypes to provide discrimination to justify marginalization. So an
Exactly.
entire inversion of their entire
Yawn.
premise.
Fucking so bored. Dixon, tell me why fuck Gino Bisconte.
Oh, he won't stop running his mouth on his show, which I mean,
Short
whatever.
story for the boys because they probably don't know it.
Oh, well, there's a physical altercation. Certain accusations were made about me punching him in the fucking face and breaking his jaw. And then, I mean, what can I
Can
say?
you confirm or deny?
I wouldn't, but
You
there's
wouldn't
like,
confirm nor deny.
I wouldn't confirm or deny at the moment. I'm just being coy. I mean, obviously people have, saw it.
You've
or
done
whatever.
multiple shows on it. It's not like we're bringing up a sore spot.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing
I just
is,
saw a clip today.
I had my reasons, and I don't want to go into the whole TikTok of the whole thing, but I'm not the only guy. I mean, you figure like if there's a guy, and a lot of people say, "Man, I can't believe it took this long for someone to punch him in the fucking face." And, like,
Oh, that was like when Rob Gill got punched in the face. That's how I thought.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
he pissed off the wrong guy that cut him off, and he's a huge
Who's Rob Gill?
LGBT. He's just an LGBT. Well, he's the Death Star, actually. If you get out of line on Twitter, he'll make sure you get canceled. He just has the mob come for you and mass report you, and it works.
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he got
Twitter
punched out
influencer.
in a traffic altercation, and some people are
Which
like,
would-
"Fuck! It took this long.
Don't
Somebody
endorse.
hasn't found you and done this already just because you're Rob Gill."
It's funny.
My
It ends
goodness.
up being because of the way he drives.
Yeah, exactly.
That's not great.
I
Nobody
don't
should be
even-
nobody should be victim of assaults.
Well,
Even fucking Rob Gill.
Fighting
All right?
solves everything, man. The two guys got a problem. They take it out
Well,
in
listen,
the fucking street,
you
and they
kinda got a
get
choice
it
in
done, and then they
society.
have beers later. Like, fuck.
There's
Okay.
consequences
I'm sure
to your
this guy
actions,
who
right?
punched Rob
So-
Gill isn't having beers
Yeah.
with him later.
That's the reality of living in society. There's consequences to your actions. So if your actions
Yeah.
are out there and you hurt someoone might react different than others. So if you
That's
made that choice to
certainly a
hurt that
liability.
person, So you have to. It's jungle out there.
Yeah.
You got.
Okay.
And
that's,
there's
to be
consequences to my actions.
I would.
Well, look at these arms. I'm not punching anyone.
Exactly what Pat just said. You know, like I wasn't even throwing that out there, like in the sense that, oh, he deserved it or something. Just I see him mouthing off and beaking to people every day on the internet, kind of like I do, and I expect to get punched in the face one day for it.
Slapped.
So,
It can happen, you know. I mean,
Slapped.
this was pretty personal, you know. Pretty much, yeah, what happened was completely personal. It wasn't on company whatever premises, but I still got fired, you know.
Oh.
And so okay, you know, if that's the consequence, that's the consequence. I have no issue with that, you know. It's just it is what it is. And that's and the thing is like there could be other consequences. I mean, like I don't know exactly what's going to happen. People, you know, get a mind to do all kinds of things when you don't. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Say some kind of fucking public mea culpa or some shit like that, you know. But I mean, I figure I got fired. I mean, that's my punishment. So there you go.
Well, I
Be a reward.
Done deal. Move on, right?
I would like that, but I mean, you know, that's we'll see. Now they're digging into my personal life, trying to find embarrassing things and shit like that. It's like if you got to go that far to try and be right about something, you know, I mean, like it becomes just like character assassination, you know.
Well, what can they talk about that you haven't openly spoken about? I mean, you're a comedian; it's all out there. If I know anything about Pat Dixon, I mean, you're not afraid of getting personal and telling your shit. You know what I mean?
Like, I mean, it's not. Yeah, I'm an open book. I mean, I got nothing to hide. I know that. I mean, if they can find plenty of people just to talk shit about me, but so what? You know what I mean? Do it, bring it, whatever. You know, I don't care. People know a you know, what do you call it? A smear job when they see one. You know, so I leave it up to them. Do whatever they like. You know, but there's nothing. I mean, like, what could there be? You know, some ex-girlfriend who is perhaps mouthy, you know. I don't know what the fuck she's going to say. I mean, like, what to describe, like, my weird picadillos or some shit like that, or the shit stains in my underwear or whatever. I mean, like, I don't know what the fuck she's going to talk about.
Well, you're giving them leads now.
Yeah.
Please, run
All
with
right.
it.
You got them following up with all your exes. Somehow they have the list.
There's only one more ex that I think that they could even fuck with, you know, that they could get into it with.
Okay.
Hell, one of my exes works.
You're really narrowing it
too.
down now for them.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's only no. They already have contact with her. So I mean, look, whatever happens. The thing is, like, one thing that'll never change is I walked into the bar, punched him in the face, apparently broke his jaw, and walked out, and he didn't do a fucking thing about it except
Go on his show and
run
talk
to my
about it.
ex-girlfriends to try to fucking dig up personal garbage on me or something.
I don't know what the clip was. Does he have a slow guy that calls him or something today? What was the clip? I couldn't even understand what he was saying. Something about drugs. I don't know. I just but comedy obviously, very obviously died in that household a long time ago. That guy is just not funny. I don't know. Like I said, I didn't know who he was until the incident, but I went and checked out his couple clips today, and I didn't even get them for Get Funny, but I know they're directed directly at you.
Yeah, he's he just rails and rails, man, and he tries to say all this shit. I can't imagine that. I mean, some people might believe it. I mean, but it's like, whatever, you know what I mean? Like, this is a guy who's just had his partner left him because of his inability to control certain ethnic slurs that would come out of his mouth with just a great regularity and not to any great comedic effect either. It lectures people on how they should think it's funny and is blind drunk, you know, a good percentage of the time that he's actually talking on stage or working anywhere. So, I mean, like...
I don't have to be blind drunk to think that that's funny, because anytime somebody drops a racial slur, I'm almost in stitches over it. I mean, this is what it was in the beginning. It was always funny on the
first time. The first time, Jim, not the sixth time.
Well, you don't use
in
it for
a 5-minute period.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly,
like,
I guess.
seriously, I'm not even exaggerating. Just like to the ad nauseum. You know what I mean? Like to the point of like, yeah, he could be talking to a home. Oh damn! I'm walking the audience. He could be talking to a bunch of people who agree with them, and then be lecturing them on how you give words too much power. It's like this is Lenny Bruce pretty much plowed that field in the early '60s, dude. I mean, say something relevant.
Well,
I'm not trying to control his speech or anything like that, but I mean, the funny part is he goes on his show and goes, "He's the real racist." I don't know I'm the real racist. That's a word. Talk about a word that's lost power.
So where can we find you? Still in the podcast? Are you going to land? Ryan's been going to bat for you. Man, that kid has really come along with his technology.
I'd love to say I'm landing at censored.tv, but I'm killing myself immediately after this show.
I was thinking of the same thing. I was thinking of doing the same thing.
There goes a strike on YouTube. Guaranteed.
That's obviously a joke.
Yeah, that's a good one.
At least if you stream it. Why after? Let's get started.
Oh man, you can't find me at nyccrimereport.locals.com right now. So
Right.
I hope you don't mind me saying that.
No, it's good. I don't think I put that in the link, and I meant to say that on your way in. But all right, Bigger, what you got coming up?
Hey, sweet fuck all, buddy.
No,
I got lots of Diamond Roofs to do, and working on some new projects with the Big Time Productions. Working on a few different projects as usual, and just working. This is my time and my roofing season, right? So this is the time to make hay while the sun shines.
Yeah, you look like the sun's been shining on you.
Oh yeah, buddy, I'm outside every day, getting blessed by the sun every day. Don't wear any suntan lotion because it's poisonous, and just drink organic beer and suntan every day.
Yeah,
what's
diversity like on your roof?
The diversity, it's just me alone, so it gets pretty diverse. I have like 4 personalities, so it gets pretty fucking wild up there sometimes, especially when it gets really hot.
Are any of them black or gay?
A couple of them are black and gay.
The last video I saw was 8 chicks on your roof doing all the work.
I start fucking myself when it gets really hot. Hey?
Oh boy!
I thought you told me that all those girls roof when you're working, but then when you do the liberals' house, the black and the gay people come out.
Just the one, yeah. Perfect. Hey, man, I know how to make money, man. I use my money maker, so that's for sure.
You got the hustle.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you if you wanted to be promoted on NiagaraBase.com. We got. Have you looked at NiagaraBase.com before? This is my new news, opinion, a video website. My home page for based news in Niagara.
Yeah,
I love it.
Put the link up to the interview. I want to be on NiagaraBase.com.
Wow.
I'm sure Dixon does.
I didn't offer you.
Let's go. Because I'm cutting this shit short. Primo, you got anything to say before we get out?
No, I'm just looking forward to spending the summer with the kids and family, doing a lot of fun stuff, beach stuff, and whatever resistance comes my way, I'm ready for it. Mm-hmm. If these farmers in Canada want to go and drive tractors around, I'll jump on the back and drive tractors around with them.
I am waiting for court dates for my 2 emergency order leaving the house while the government told you couldn't leave your house, Those April 10th and April 17th tickets that a lot of us got. And I blew I did all the meetings, and then I blew one. I blew them both. One I was on a men's call, totally blanked. Another one, my buddy was in town from Canada and totally blanked. And so I had to get reopenings on them. So I got reopenings, but the part 3...
You blew both of these guys, and they still won't let you off these tickets?
I'm not that good.
I'm
not that good.
What kind of corruption is that? That's corruption of corruption.
You got to tickle the grapes next time. Put your finger in the ass. It'll work. Tickle the grapes, finger in the ass.
It doesn't matter how many times you do it. It still makes you go like... That's a Gavin joke. I'm waiting on now because I blew my part 3. It actually issued a bench warrant, so I haven't gone public about this, but this will be the first time if anyone's watching. So I'm told, I have to surrender so they can give me a trial date, which will get thrown out, but whatever, that I might have a problem coming into the country and be notified that I'm entering the country because I have a bench warrant out for
me. It's Canada. They're probably going to put out a fucking international warrant for your arrest and come pick you up in Dominican, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, Dominican doesn't have one of those reciprocal agreements, I don't think. I think I'm safe.
What's your exact address?
I'm a Caribe Campo. Come and get me.
Hey man,
Right up
fuck,
the hill.
$100 is $100.
Ask anyone. They
Well,
know
Jim
Jimmy's
Fannon's in exile now.
unbelievable.
The show's over.
You can't be serious. Like, can't I just surrender virtually and you guys can mail me the date so that I can show up and beat it? Because the girl that issued the
I'm
ticket.
sorry. Is our legal system inconvenient for you?
Yeah, it has been very inconvenient.
Is this very inconvenient for you? Yes, it is quite inconvenient actually. All you did is show up at a public gathering and then got hit with a ticket and then being roped into a court system and court process that is bullshit.
You know,
So,
I haven't done
It
much.
is actually very inconvenient.
I haven't
Indeed.
done much work that embarrasses me. When I MC events, I'm pretty decent at it. When I MC weddings, I have a blast, you know, because usually I know the people and stuff. Most of my shows are just what they are. I'm not embarrassed by them, but that was one where I was uncomfortable, man. I was expecting 30 people, tops. Like 30 people would have been a lot for me.
For the
And,
protest that day, yeah.
Dude, there had to be 800 in that parking lot, 4 or 5. I don't know how you gauge that many people, but there was a lot of people in that parking lot. And there had to be 1,000
That's right,
people
and
that marched at
And they
least.
made an example out of you.
And I was the first one to grab the mic, and the guy dropped the PA. He didn't come through. He was supposed to deliver on a PA, so we had a microphone hooked up to like some sort of amp that we were holding the microphone up to the megaphone, and I wasn't talking into the megaphone mic close enough, and I wasn't yelling loud enough, and nobody
Due to
could hear
COVID,
me.
of
So
course.
I'm like, I just panicked and passed the mic to Colin McDonald.
Gave a
and let
good
him-
speech about how you don't give speeches.
Yeah, exactly.
recall.
I panicked, handed the mic over to Colin McDonald, and got
And he denounced the satanic agenda and Grant Lafleche
made the front page
punished
of the
us all
paper the
for it.
next day. Local podcaster arrested for leaving the house. Fuck off.
That's true. That's true. Before you even got the ticket, the newspaper knew.
Nobody cares
Who's
when
Grant
I.
Lafleche?
Oh, I was just speaking of dumb fucking cunts. Nobody cares if you call anyone a dumb fucking cunt anymore. Just that one time that I said
We're
it,
back.
and it
We're
made the
back to the
front
DFC.
page of the. Yeah,
love it.
nobody
All
like.
right.
I've called Grant that many times, and nobody cares anymore. It's fucked.
Right. Well, in Australia,
I hate that I
it's a
can't get any
compliment.
attention. Last time it got me front page paper for a week and a half and 45 days of hate mail because I hate
Dude,
women.
you know he's in his living room right now in his underwear, just mowing popcorn, watching this.
Yeah,
There's a
There's no
visual.
talking
Thanks,
about
Rob.
me.
Thanks, Rob. Thanks
Well-
for that visual.
I did not apologize, and although they tried to cancel me, they tried to follow me down to Dominican Republic. I have people from Canada that are using anonymous Yahoo addresses and contacting brokers that I work with when they find out I've landed with them and saying, "Do you know who you're dealing with here? Don't trust them with children. Don't leave them like." I'm surprised they haven't hit the drug thing. Duh. Like, I mean, I'm an open book. I talk about no secrets. Go find my ex-girlfriends to say I beat them or was a bad guy to them. Like, it's not, I never have to worry about me tooing ever. You know what I mean? They got nothing. Anything I do is right here that they hate. So, fuck off.
Okay.
Anyway.
That was a lot to unpack, and perhaps
Well,
that's not the
I was surprised to find out that if I want to come home, I might be
you know.
stopped at the border
Where
because
do
I
we
have a
begin
bench
with
warrant
that?
out for
Where
me.
do we begin or do we end? Here we go.
That sounds like a good
This
place
is
to
really a
end.
crossroads moment for all of us.
Fucking who invited you? What a buzzkill you are. There, Dixon's out. He's like, I've had enough of this. That is so appropriate. Fuck. He's like, I am done. 48 minutes. All right, boys. And I'm done with you guys. So I'm glad Dixon got us out because I'm fucking done with talking to you guys. It was a good show. Thanks for the time. If there's anything you need from me anytime, especially if it's involved in selling real estate in the Dominican Republic, touch me up. And boys, I don't know if you know this, but large cash referrals, I'll wire you USD straight into your account.
I'll make sure to tell all of my moneyed friends about that.
You send me a deal, and I'll send you minimum, depending on how easy the deal is, 25% of my gross commission USD. And fuck, the selling brokers down here get 8-10%. Only the buyers get paid. So down here, you can have 10 brokers. As soon as you list your house, you call 10 brokers over and they all list your house. There's no MLS. There's no exclusivity. Not like at home. You got one broker, he works for you. No, down here, 15 guys list it and market it all over the place. No MLS system. And the buyer gets paid. That's it. The guy that brings the offer gets paid, and that's it. And they pay in cash at the lawyer.
I like cash.
Walking out with well, I mean, not all lawyers do, but it's not uncommon. And because of the tax laws down here, there are no real estate taxes to speak of under $150,000, which seems like, everything. And then it's, I don't know, they get all kinds of programs. So the lawyer will go, okay, we got to, I understand the deal. And then he leaves the room for a minute and comes back just in case the guys want to take care of some private business.
Didn't you say you're done with us?
And then,
all right, have a great night.
Okay, see ya.
What the fuck? I thought Sandor was drawing a picture.
Yeah, well, it sounded like a good idea when he brought it up, because he said he would just kind of passively sketch while we did our thing. That didn't happen. Neither of those things happened. He wasn't passive, and he didn't sketch.
He smoked more weed.
He's a fucking buzzkill.
What a guy, eh?
You got to give him credit because he's digging into what he's fucking passionate about right now. And
I know.
give him a lot of credit for
he's
that.
Unbelievably talented when it comes to shit like that.
I said we wanted to have some fun here. I don't want to keep going back to the fucking DEI. Come on. Anyways, I'm glad to have you guys out here too. Thanks for the time, and it's appropriate time to say
good night now.
Good time.
Later, boys. Love you. Peace.
See you, buddies.
All right. Ciao. That's how you do that. Thank you, Pat Dixon, Sandor Ligetfalvy, Rob Primo, Josh Bigger, the best damn roofer. Big time. Freedom. That did not suck. Thanks for watching. Peace, love, hug your neighbor. And whatever you do, rip that fucking mask off your child. They're too beautiful. Well, maybe nobody's masking anymore. You better not be masking your kids anymore. Fuck. Is that shit done now? Are we done with the masking? No. It'll come back. Don't worry. What time we got here? 8:53 EST. I love you. I am out.
Recordings.
night now.